Hi, Linda Bowen here from StampingWithLinda.com, your cardiologist since 1997, helping you create cards from the heart. Today in my Creative Fold series, I'm going to do a Joy Fold card with the beautiful new Birthday Blossom stamp set. You will need to be watching for the next couple weeks. I will be featuring this stamp set plus the card that I'm going to do as part of my Stamps in the Mail. So check on that for later. So let's get started. I am going to be using the Go Wild Designer Series paper stack. This is a stack of 6x6 cards, or not cardstock, Designer Series paper. You get 4 different sheets of 12 different double-sided designs. So real fun pack of paper. Great for masculine cards. I'm going to start with a piece of Whisper White. This measures 7.5 inches by 5 1/4, and I have already scored it at the 4 1/4 inch mark. Next, what I'm going to do is bring in that Designer Series paper. I'm going to use the piece cut 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm going to place that in the back of my card like so. And then I'm going to use a piece of 3 inches by 5 1/4, and that is going to go on my front flap. Again, this is called a Joy Fold card, so I've got that. And then I have a piece of basic black. This measures 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and I'm going to score it at the 2 3/4 inch mark. I've got my trimmer here since I didn't score that earlier. I have 2 pieces of Whisper White. One of them I have already stamped, and the other one is blank. Again, I used that birthday set. The blank one I'm going to put on the inside of my card right along here. These measures 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. Oh, as you can see, I have stamped on the back of this and didn't like it, so I turned it over and stamped on the other side. I remember when my girlfriend and I first started stamping and realized that God created 2 sides of the paper for us to make our mistakes. It was always kind of a joke about turning over our card to see if we intended it that way or if there was a mistake behind it. So just going to put that part of the Joy Fold right there. Again, it opens like so. But what I want to do is I want to make a fun closure. So I have taken my 2 3/8 scallop punch, punched out a black scallop. Going to place that down at the bottom. Next, I'm going to bring in a piece of Blushing Bride, my Memento ink pad, and the flower from that birthday set. I did put a B at the bottom of the flower so that I know where the bottom is, because I'm going to be using that pansy punch. And even though it really looks like it's a uniform punch, there is different petals to that, so it always helps if you know the correct way to punch that. So just going to go in and punch. Now I want to highlight this punched image, so I'm going to bring in my Blushing Bride and my blender pen, and I'm just going to go to the edge of that ink pad, and I'm just going to grab some of that pink. So even though it's monochromatic with the ink on top, it just gives some highlights. So what's nice with the blender pen, you can just add some color. You could also do this with a marker, but I find with the blender pen and my ink pad, I have more control over that color. And to get that color off, I'm just taking a scrap piece of paper and just going back and forth to get rid of that color. So I've got my flower. Want to give it some character. So I'm going to take my bone folder and just curl those edges. Then I'm going to bring in my dimensionals, and I need to put the dimensionals down towards the bottom of the flower, because I'm going to use this flower as a closure for my Joy fold. And you'll notice I'm doubling up on that dimensional so that when I put it down here, that dimensional gives me some height so that I can open it up like so. So let's close it up. And there you have a Joy fold card with a closure. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you real soon.